have a look at this other Australian story here that's really making my blood boil. I don't know about you, but having a hard time finding a home. If you're having a hard time finding a rental, if you're having a hard time paying bills, even getting extra hours at work to cover everything because the economy's so screwed here in Australia. I mean, a block of butter in Australia is $8. I like to use that as a reference because that's just utterly shocking to me. And a lot of it is in the wake of a massive influx of migrants or immigrants coming from other countries, mainly India, and flooding our shores, taking extra homes away from people who've been here looking for homes for decades or years. And they're flooding the market, making it impossible for kids get into an entry-level rental. People are living with their parents a lot longer. People are living in caravans. People are living homeless underneath bridges and under shopping centres. And the Albanese government is doing everything they can to make it worse. Absolutely everything. If they could make it worse, they're gonna. If they can come up with a plan to do something where it's going to screw us over and make the housing crisis even worse, they're going to do it. Like the 5% deposit on a home. No one can afford 5% of a $2 million home because that's what they are. It's $1.5 million to probably $800,000 for a home. 5% of that is still, impossible for people who are paying $800 a week rent, $700 a week rent. And then not to mention every 4 bags of groceries cost you $200. And you've got to pay for the fucking shitty paper bags. But Albo's going to fix it because this massive influx of immigrants coming from India, they need somewhere to live, don't they? So India's bold proposal to fix Australia's housing crisis by building 1 million homes here and sending skilled and unskilled workers to help. Here we go. Daily Mail. A senior member of the Indian government has made a surprising proposal to help Australians tackle housing crisis, suggesting India could help build 1 million homes across the country. Comments came from India's Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. During a meeting in the United Arab Emirates trade design delegation in Mumbai on Sunday, Goyal described the initiative as a $500 billion opportunity and claimed India was in deep negotiations with Australia to deliver a massive housing project. He added that Australia is open to welcoming Indian professionals, including masons, electricians, plumbers, and other trades, while also offering financial support to help businesses establish themselves. Does this sound like a scam to get another couple of 100,000 Indians into the country? Does it? Is it just me? He added that Australia is open to welcoming Indian professionals, including masons. No, we're not. We're not. We're not. We're not. We literally just had a march about immigration in this country, that we want to cut immigration to sustainable levels. It wasn't just about that. It was about the massive amount of price gouging the shopping centres are doing. There's a massive amount of taxes that the government is eking out of us. We're just not happy. Every level, every sense of the word, we're not happy with the state of Australia. And they're trying to, this is gaslighting us, saying that we're happy and we're welcoming. We're not. Fuck off. We don't want however many Indians to come into Australia to build homes, because when they're in here, they're going to be living in those homes. We don't have houses to put these skilled and unskilled workers in so they can build a home. We have enough builders here in Australia. That's not the issue. They want to build homes here in Australia. You want to really, really open up the market so we can build homes? Local councils need to get together and start getting rid of the red tape. They need to get rid of the green tape as well. They need to get rid of all these massive amounts of taxes that they have on the home. Building a home is something like 40 or more % of the cost of building a home is tax. It's insane. You want to make it so that we can build homes quicker? How about you get rid of tax on overtime for tradies? Get rid of tax on overtime for tradies. Get rid of it. Fuck it off. Get rid of it. Also, you're wondering about who's going to pick our fruit? Do the same. If you're an Australian citizen, You don't get taxed if you work in a certain few industries. I reckon it's a great idea. If you work in the fruit picking, dairy, farming industry, and you're an Australian citizen, not on a visa, if you're an Australian citizen, you work in any of those industries, get rid of the tax. Get rid of it. They're critical to our infrastructure. They're critical to our country. We need them. We need people to pick our fruit. We need people to grow our veggies. We need people to raise our cattle, milk our cows. Get rid of the tax on their income. I don't care. It can't be much. Raise the tax on, I don't know, politicians' income. Get rid of their income as well. It'll even it out a little bit. Stop paying Dan Andrews $300,000 a year to go and play puppet dictator over in China and, rub shoulders with Xi Jinping and Kim Jong and Vladimir Putin, Take the money from somewhere else that we're wasting it. Stop sending money overseas for like gay transgender surgeries in fucking Mumbai or something. I don't know. Figure it out. Like, it's insane. Bringing in people to build houses for us when we don't have houses for those people to come in here. How is that going to solve anything? He added, they are willing to allow you to take all the different technical expertise, whether professional or skills are required to build those million homes, he said. Mr. Goyal said India would provide full access to both skilled and unskilled Indian workers alongside training and certification programs to ensure compliance with Australian standards. Yeah, I can imagine that wouldn't get railroaded or anything. They wouldn't just print out something saying that they're a qualified builder in India, which I don't care if you're a qualified builder in India. I doubt you're a qualified builder here in Australia. Materials are completely different. The weather and standards are completely different. If you're building a home in India, I guarantee you're allowed to build it out of straw and cow shit and mud. In Australia, the amount of fines that you would do if you built a cubby house like that, the government would tear it down. They'd bulldoze your property if you did that. If we miss the bus, we don't catch the opportunity, we'll only have ourselves to blame, he said. The comments coincide with ongoing negotiations between the Australian Trade Minister Don Farrell and the Indian government over expanded free trade agreement, including the second tranche of the India-Australia Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement. Albo with his best friend Modi. In July, Farrell said the government was at final stages of negotiations with India. Goyal confirmed that they were continuing on social media posts earlier in August, held a productive meeting with the Australian Minister of Trade and Tourism, Senator Hon Don Farrell. Our discussions centred at finalising the second tranche of CECA to further enhance the trade investments ties between our nations, he said. However, the proposal will spark confusion in Australia with the economist Leith Van Olsen Onselin? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Revealing to Daily Mail he was contacted by the government source who denied any knowledge of the plan. I received a call from the government spokesman who said Goyal's plan has not been raised with them yet. Van Onselin said the truly extraordinary stuff, assuming that the deal is not merely a bluster and hopium from Minister Goyal. It is understood the Australian government was blindsided by the comments which were not previously brought up during negotiations. Oh yeah, I'm sure he's just lying that they were talking about it. He didn't just speak out of turn because they did don't say anything about it, but we're going to get you in to build 1 million homes. Just because it's, this is fishing. They go and put out this information in a backwards kind of way. Albo doesn't come out and say it. They get Goyal to say it. And then they go, we're just checking to see if Australians would be, welcoming to that. And then they see the amount of backlash and go, I'll say it wasn't our idea. It was he just said it. We had nothing to do with it. Van Onselin also criticised the border context of Australia's housing shortage, blaming decades of high immigration for outpacing housing supply. Australia is suffering from a chronic housing shortage because 2 decades of population demand via excessive immigration has run ahead of housing supply, he said. He urged the Albanese government to publicly reject the proposal. The Albanese government needs to make an official statement denying Mr. Goyal's claims. He added, the Daily Mail has approached Farrell for comment. Recent housing approval data revealed that the Australian government is back on track to fall significantly short of its target to build 1.2 million homes by 2029. The figure shows an annual shortfall of around 36,000 homes, which could leave the government nearly 200,000 homes behind its goal by the end of the decade. Not surprised. If you're getting the government to help you build a home, the only thing they're helping with is taxing you. They're not going to help you do anything. They're just going to make your day harder. The government, they couldn't get a root in a whorehouse. The government, they don't know what they're doing. They misappropriate every single dollar they get. They waste money where they shouldn't waste money. It's from the top to the bottom, from elbow down to the guy on the shovel working on the local council. They waste money everywhere they go, every step of the way. Why do you think we should be giving them money to build homes? Why do you think we should be let us do it? Let the private sector do it. Let people do it. Get rid of all these massive taxes. Get rid of all the red tape, the green tape that are holding people back. Let us open up the industry so that we can, subdivide easier, so we can build a smaller home that maybe not, isn't up to the crazy standards. I think we had to spend $15,000 on metal fly screens for our house because of the bushfire rating. I'm sorry, but if I have to worry about an ember attack on my home, metal fly screens isn't going to help when I'm getting, when I'm surrounded by a bushfire. Metal fly screens aren't going to help. I had to spend 15 grand on that. Make it cheaper for people to build homes. Open up the industry so that we can produce more homes. Open up the land that you've given away to the Aboriginal community, Aboriginal fucking organizations. Open that up for construction. Get rid of this green bullshit biozones. Let people subdivide. Do something that's going to help. But every time they do something, it's for some backwards thieving reason. The 5% deposit thing. You could already buy a home with 5% deposit. The problem is the 5% deposit is too high for people to save up because they're paying $700 a week rent. Get rid of all the taxes in the industry. They would cut the housing costs in half. People would afford to be able to build new homes. And the 5% deposit, so if you miss a payment and you miss your payments, you can't pay off your home, which is very likely at $1.5 million would be like $9,000 a month. The government gets your house. At the end of the day, the government's got your house because they're acting as your co-signer. So if you can't pay the mortgage, the government gets your house. What do you guys think about it anyway? Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.